Good evening. Hello. I don't know if anyone's out there just yet, but good evening. Welcome to the BDP Movember Comedy Night. I am John Porter. I'm your host. I have exceptionally long hair for some reason, and I thought I'd grow a beard just for the tradition. Welcome inside my home. Sort of. You can see a little bit of my house. That's about it. But yeah, I am officially live in your living rooms and mine. So yes, good evening. Going to do a little bit to start off with, and hopefully, I'm just to be honest with no audience. I'm just basically monologuing to camera, so this will be terrifying. But nonetheless, we shall give it a go and see how it works out. It's good to it's good to have you all here tonight. Looks like there's 20 of you in. If you're listening or watching, give us a shout and give us a clue what's happening. Just say hello. I can't interact with you like I would in person, but we can certainly bring you in. We can highlight certain comments on the stream and things like that. And for those of you that are watching, if you've ever wanted to see what a flat looks like that you can afford on a BDP salary, well, here it is. I feel a bit like I'm imprisoned, to be honest, at the moment. It's been a funny old year, hasn't it? It's been a funny old year. We're now 8 months into our 3-month lockdown. That went well, didn't it? Hopefully everybody's surviving out there okay. Hopefully you've all learned a new skill or a new language. I've not learned a new language. I've been trying to learn Italian on Duolingo. So far, all it's taught me is I eat sugar, which is presumably quite useful if I ever have to explain to an Italian why I'm diabetic. But aside from that, I can't really think of a reason why it would be any use to anybody. I've just got an email in French telling me that it's time to start the live stream, which is certainly interesting. I don't remember putting it in French language, but there you go. Yeah, so again, if you're out there, I can see there's 28 here, so for God's sake, someone talk to me. I didn't become a comic because I wanted you all to ignore me. Somebody give me a shout out here. Yeah, I can see Mike still there, master of the code book. Good evening, sir. Good evening. I seem to be getting comments in real time. There was about a 5-minute delay earlier. It was quite frustrating. We've been working out the tech. Obviously, it's lucky that me as an IT person was in control of it, as I knew what we needed to do. But you'll notice we're doing this on YouTube, not Teams. We did give a try at working it out in Teams, but from what I hear, most of you can't sign into Teams anyway, so it was probably better to move it to a different platform. So yeah, we're all here tonight for Movember, as you'll see from the description. If you've not donated already, please do. The link's in the video description. We've raised almost, I think, 400 quid now, which is pretty incredible, really. It's great effort by you guys, but if we can get over that threshold, I know Anna would be very pleased. Anna, by the way, has done an incredible job of getting this sorted out, and Anna and John Bezick, who provided all the graphics for the show. Big shout out to them and a big thanks to them for that. I've just seen a comment come through from one of our other comedians tonight, Mr. Jack Kelly. I'm just going to highlight it on the stream. He says, "Hi, John. Really looking forward to seeing Jack Kelly perform." Well, if you are here to see Jack Kelly, he should be here in about 5-10 minutes. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what he's got tonight. He's a good friend of mine, tremendous comedian, and prolific YouTube commenter, it would appear. So then, here we are once again in lockdown. We're doing it with. And there's our first technical glitch of the night, as my mic just died mid-sentence. That's always a good way to start. Yeah, it should give you great confidence that I'm in charge of your IT. The fact that I'm running this stream and it's going this well so far. I am very pleased to see 32 of you out there, though. That's pretty fucking amazing. I'll be honest with you, that's about 30 more than I was expecting. So now I feel like I have to actually do something to earn your love. Normally in these circumstances, I would say, well, you didn't pay for it, so if you don't like it, tough. But the fact is, you made a donation, so you did pay for it. So I'll try and be as good as possible. So yeah, welcome to Lockdown 2. You'll notice we started on time tonight. I believe it started on time. It's not a Boris Johnson press conference. So I thought it was important to be here and be here when we said we'd be here. I'm all right with the second lockdown. I've been at home for just over 8 months now, actually, looking at today's date. At this point, it makes no real odds to me. I'm okay with it. it is what it is. The only thing I've done really is gain weight. So, I mean, there's nothing new there. But nonetheless, I'm all right with another lockdown as long as Joe Wicks doesn't make another reappearance. I never heard of Joe Wicks before the whole pandemic lockdown bullshit started. There we go. I've clocked one up on the sway meter. I wish I could put that in the top right. Please don't sack me. I need the money. Yeah, I until maybe about a month and a half into the pandemic, I was pretty sure that Joe Wicks was an EastEnders character. But there we go. I've learnt my lesson now. Apparently, he's a real guy who teaches people how to exercise. So maybe I need to listen to him after all. I don't know. I think most of you that are here tonight probably know who I am. You've probably met me before. If you're in the Manchester office, you're pretty likely to know me. I know some of you probably in the London office probably know me as well. You might have just heard my voice if you've spoken to me before regards an IT matter. But I'll tell you a little bit about me because all comedians do. Most of them lie, but I'm not gonna. I'm actually a fully trained acrobat. No, that's a lie. I'm disabled. I've got cerebral palsy. I've had cerebral palsy since I was born. I talk about it quite a bit when I do stand-up comedy, which is quite ironic because I don't stand up at all, I suppose. But the nice thing about doing live streams, despite the fact there's no crowd, it's quite for somebody with social anxiety and an inability to stand up. Sitting in my chair doing a live stream with no audience interaction is pretty perfect, to be honest. So I'm feeling quite good about that right now. Yeah, I talk about my disability a lot. It's largely to own it and just to be myself, just to because at the end of the day, it's a thing that's mine, right? And if I don't own it, then I'd suffer, wouldn't I? Like my life wouldn't be half as good as it is. I wouldn't be able to do the things I can do. It's important, I think, to talk about it, and also to be honest, when it comes to comedy. Talking about something that's unique to you is a good thing. You need a hook in comedy. I mean, I don't need a hook. My hands are fine, see? But my legs are a bit on the other end of the scale, to say the least. So I do talk about it a little bit when I'm on stage. It can go either way, I find, with audiences. You get a little bit of hostility sometimes. Depending on where you are in the country, sometimes I think I've always found the South tough to play. Although with this accent, that's hardly a surprise. There is actually a sport among certain people in the London office to try and impersonate me as good as possible. John Booth, if he's watching, is quite good at that. But yeah, I do talk about it, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes badly. There was a review about me recently that said I had. Described me, and I think the term used was disabled heavy set. I wasn't really sure if that was a review or a description, but nonetheless, I was happy with it. It's quite nice not to have an audience, like I said before. Hostile audiences are difficult to play for me because most comedians can move around the stage. Jack, in particular, when I've gigged with him, is quite a mobile comedian. He makes full use of his stage area, whereas like I can't really do that. Basically, if people start throwing things at me on stage, it turns into the world's largest game of Space Invaders because all I can really do is move side to side. But yeah, that's the way it goes, I suppose. I've been a comedian for quite a long time now. I've already done 2 comedy nights for BDP in the past. We did two studio nights in the Manchester office. One was really good. The first one was really good. The second one was meh. So this is the third one now, which I guess is either the sequel that no one asked for or the direct to DVD. I don't really know what to think of it, if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, it's good to be here. I'm pleased to be doing it. I'm helping a friend out. Obviously, it's a testament to why you should never make friends with the social life team. You'll end up doing these sort of things. But shout out to those guys. You're all great people, and you've somehow convinced 38 people to give up an hour of the Thursday night to sit and watch 3 northern white men shout at you. So can't really say much more than that. I'm quite pleased with it, to be honest. Yeah, I've been a comedian for a long time. Some of the things you might not know about me, I've been to the Edinburgh Festival on, I think, 3 occasions, although as I drink more and lockdown lasts longer, it's becoming harder to remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been there multiple occasions. I've done shows there. I'm very proud of that. It's not exactly a great financial endeavor, I have to say. You can land yourself in a lot of debt in Edinburgh. You don't make a whole lot of money. I think what annoyed me the most about being in Edinburgh, to be fair, the last time I did it, was the fact that when I was there, I wasn't making much money in the shows. But when I was outside shows, Japanese tourists were trying to put loads of money into my hat, thinking my walk-in was experimental street theatre. So I could have done without that, to be honest. But there you go. The disability that I have, I'm not sure if I did mention it. I've got cerebral palsy. You might not know a lot about cerebral palsy, which would put you in the same spot as most people that have medically examined me since I was about 4 years old. But if you've ever wanted a glimpse into the life of somebody with cerebral palsy, the other day I went for a lower leg casting. Ooh, I've never been cast as a lower leg before. I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, but yeah, it was fun all the same. I've got carbon fiber splints, so if you ever see a man walking towards you with what looks like two F1 cars welded to his legs, that's probably me. Say hello if you've not met me before. I like meeting new people, although not when I'm actually working. The last thing I usually want then is to meet new people, because it usually means something's broken. I got the carbon fiber splints are a fairly new thing. I got them relatively recently. Got off the train at Deansgate, which is probably one of the few non-BDP stations in the Manchester area, and was trying to walk back to my flat and was accosted by a woman who said, "I'm not being funny, but are you disabled?" Didn't really know how to answer that one. I mean, one, it wasn't funny, and two, yes, I am. I mean, what was the alternative? Sponsored wobbling? You know, I don't know. I don't know. I found it all a bit bizarre. Anyway, I, as the Sugar Hill Gang would have said, you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. I'm going to bring in the first man tonight, after I've just encouraged you one last time to donate. As you know, this is for Movember. Very proud of that. We're doing very well. Please donate if you haven't already. The donation link's in the description. I will be checking while I'm off screen. If I see some names in chat that I haven't seen on the donation list, I will be issuing out beatings. I mean, I might not do it, but I can find people that will. Anyway, I'm going to introduce you now to a very good friend of mine. And do you know what? Most compares say that, and it's not true, but this one is. Jack Kelly is an extremely good friend of mine. I've known him for 4 years. He recently started doing stand-up comedy. He's a tremendous young talent. He looks a lot younger than me, and he'll probably last a lot longer than me because he's less cynical than I am. I'm going to hand over to him now. I have no idea what he's got planned for you. It could be anything, but I know it will be funny. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jack Kelly.
Bloody hell, that was a proper sentence. I feel like my mum is the only other person that bigs me up that much.
Well, you better live up to it now, because I'm clearing off. So off you go, mate.
All right, yeah, off you go.
Hang on. There we go. Right.
I'm on now.
Best of luck.
Am I on now? It's weird that like these online gig things are really weird. Like, you know, it's really weird to perform here because it's really odd to perform to you just in my pants, you know, because usually I gig start bollock naked. So it's nice to have made the effort. It's nice to be on YouTube as well again, because I started on YouTube right when I was a teenager, and me and my mates would make Doctor Who videos, like spoofs, and it'd just be videos of me running around in my grandma's dressing gown, you know, pretending our barbecue was a TARDIS console. Like, you know, the bullying was understandable, you know, but it's nice that my career has gone full circle. I should say to you, like, I'm a clean comedian. I'm not a right-wing comedian at all, so you're safe. You know, to me, right-wing comedians are like trips to Dignitas. You should only book one as a last resort. God, what can I say? Can you tell I've got post-it notes up the side here? My eyes will just glance off, and that's what's happening here. It's been a fucking great year, hasn't it? Like, sorry to swear, but bloody hell, 10 out of 10 would do it again. Probably a go. I'm like, I can't hear you, but I'm sure you're like, bloody hell, yeah, he's right. It's been absolutely mint. Could not improve it in any way whatsoever. You know, because nobody warned us, did they? Like, nobody told us that like living through the apocalypse was actually pretty boring. You expect a zombie or a meteorite. Not once in a disaster film do you see Bruce Willis sanitizing a shopping trolley. You know, I think that's why they called it The Day After Tomorrow. Just nobody could remember what fucking day of the week it was. You know, for me, 2020 really has been the year of the conspiracy theorist. Or has it? You know, Terrible. Go make a brew if you want. The jokes. That's the bar. I'll tell you who's into conspiracy theories, and that's my mate Jason. I've been mates with Jason for years, and Jason's one of those blokes that is so stupid, but it's so genius at the same time. Like, I remember when we were at school, a careers advisor asked him what job he wanted, and you've got to admire that. It's a good trade, you know. I wouldn't say no to following that line of work. He recently found out, right, that Gary Lineker is a real character, is a real person, right? Before that, he thought that he was a character invented for the Walker Scripts adverts. That's the sort of guy we're dealing with. You know, it's crazy. He was sacked from where we work. He was sacked from Morrison's for falling asleep on a shelf. That's the sort of guy we're dealing with. I was on Zoom to him the other day, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, I found out where my mum got my name from." I said, "Oh, tell me." He said, "Oh, it was the middle of summer, and she was sat looking at the calendar in the kitchen, and that's when it hit her. July, August, September, October, November. Jason." I said, "Oh." I feel for his sister, Jeff Mamge. Don't have a turning ring to it, does it? You know, it's been a wonderful time. I'm sure we'll agree. I've worked through the pandemic. A lot of you might be working from home. Some of you might unfortunately be on furlough, but I've been working through it. You know, the only thing that's disappeared for me is my social life. I've not been able to perform to other comedians above a pub. If anything, my mental health has improved. But I've been fighting on the front lines because I'm a key worker. Yeah, I can tell you're applauding. You're probably out in the street now, like banging a pan, thinking, bloody hell, Jack's done his bit, you know, because I've been fighting on the front line, right? You know, blood, sweat, tears, and a little bit of wee. You know, there were days I didn't think I could go on. I just had to keep telling myself, those shelves won't stack themselves. You know, no word of a lie, right? The supermarket that I work for has genuinely given me a little badge for bravery during a crisis. Like, I'm on thank you rainbow away from being made a saint. Like me and Captain Tom. It's nice watching some of that's not a repeat. That's good, unless you come to all my gigs and I do the same 10 minutes. That's when it becomes a repeat. I've been fighting on the front line, you know, and every day, like, people celebrating me. Little old ladies saying things like, "Oh, you do remind me of my husband Stanley. You're very brave." Oh, thank you. Did he work for Tesco as well? No, he fought in 2 world wars. He raised millions of pounds for children's charities. He invented oxygen. He wrote the screenplay to Toy Story 3, and he's not got a TikTok account. Right, sounds like a lovely fella. Has he got an Nectar card? No? Not so perfect after all. No, I realise that it's club card, but, you know, I like to keep in the ambiguity of which supermarket as I work for, because I can't afford to lose that job in this current climate. Like every day, like it's been nuts. Like people think me and the lads from Aldi and Lidl are gonna fall to the Avengers. Like, you know, like flying in like, oh no, there's a tsunami. Best put down a wet floor sign and tunnel with the cleaner. You know, a damsel in distress is there like, oh no, somebody please save me. In walks Daryl, 12-hour contract. Don't worry, love. I'm just going to open up on till 7 now. You know, I can imagine the movie trailers now, you know, like, in a world in danger, there's only one man to call, Captain. I realise I shouldn't slap my ass on a webcam. That's a bit weird now. But that's what I did. Of course, I suppose we all know that going to a shop has changed now for everyone. Not only have you got the masks, you've got a queue outside, right? Whilst I stand there like the world's shittest nightclub doorman. Like, never has someone looked so ill-fitting for a job. You know, it's like putting hiring Matt Hancock to be the entertainment at your children's birthday party. You know, you just wouldn't do it, would you? I'm stood there, like giving it the same like sort of thing that a lifeguard does. You know, like, yeah, you're clear. Every day, I just feel like I'm letting people go down water slides. You know, it's and like originally like proper lockdown, none of this like one toe in the water sort of thing. Like I had to meet yesterday. I felt like a spy. It was really weird. Like originally proper lockdown, we were only allowed to let one person in from a group, right? And the sort of excuses I had from people who were quite clearly together were insane. You know, I once had two guys tell me they didn't know each other, and they were identical twins who I'd just watched get off the same motorbike. Like that is a level of no respect for me. As like, how daft do you think I am? Like the most annoying one I got, right? That like woman and a daughter. She said, "Well, you've got to let us both in. It's her birthday, right? And what's this? Her party?" You know, I did wonder why my manager was dressed as Bobo the clown when he came in this morning. You know, please do go ahead. The party is happening on aisle 5. You know, fucking, it's honestly insane. But you know, like I don't have to worry about it anymore because I've been replaced by a traffic light system. Do you know how bad it is being told that you're so worthless you could be replaced by an LED? You know, I like a lot of people say bloody foreigners coming over here stealing our jobs. For me, it's the green man. You know, it's horrendous. But customers are just as bad inside as well as outside the shop. I'll tell you a few stories about that. And no offense, by the way, because I'm sure you all do shop in supermarkets. Like, there's just something that happens to a certain kind of person when they go, yeah, I'm going to go and say something really stupid. The other day, a group of lads come in and they walk past the women's Christmas pajamas. And one says to the others, he says, guys, do you know what would be really funny? We should all get matching pajamas. And all his mates were like, no, mate, that's weird. That'd be odd. Don't know. You know, it's a shame because we did have an offer on. I had a bloke come up to me once, right? Roll the wrapping paper in his hand, like gormless look on his face. And he said, "Excuse me, do you reckon this will be enough?" I was like, what you wrapping, pal? A tin of Spam or the Houses of Parliament? I don't know. I said to him, well, that roll is 3 meters long. So it's 3 meters long. And he said to me, how long's a meter? And I don't know why I thought of it at the time. I don't know why I used it as a unit measurement, but I said to him, well, Peter Crouch is about 2 meters tall. So it's about half a Peter Crouch. You know what he said to me? Which half? Like it matters. Like, oh, you're all right with the head, but the torso completely boggles your mind. I think now, right, after everything that's happened, I really hope he knows how long a meter is, because otherwise he's the reason we keep going back into lockdowns. You know, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But I'll leave you with this story. I'll tell you about my favorite customer who comes in, right? She's very macho mank woman. Look, right, like proper mank. Like, looks like she's permanently sat in a lazy river. And the thing is, right, she looks like Shaun Ryder with a perm. Okay, she'll come in like, all right, love, how's it going? Live forever. You know, and the thing about Shaun Ryder is she loves the clothes we sell, but she doesn't care that we don't have a changing room. You know, she'll see a top, she'll be like, oh, I'm having that, mate, I'm having that. Everyone around has seen way too much flesh. She's got tan lines like Billy Bear Ham. But, you know, she's confident. She can do that. I stop her. Anyway, the other day, she took it one step further, because the other day, Shaun Ryder came in shopping for a new bra. Yeah, never did I think in a million years I'd have to tell a grown woman off for getting her tits out on aisle 5. You can't do that in here, Shaun. She said, oh, don't worry about it, love. People don't care. I'm 60. I said, I think people care more because you're 60. There are kids over there that think you're modelling balloon animals. Honestly, I can't tell you what awkward it is having to ban your own mum from the store. No. I stopped doing that story, right? Because I got a review that spoke specifically about that bit, and it said that, oh, I hate when comedians like take a story and make up a fake ending. It's just cringy. Like, I honestly, am I meant to believe that? Which is the last time I asked my dad to write a review. Thank you so much for supporting this. I was going to say this night. I suppose it's a night. Nights are still allowed. We're still allowed to have the night. Movember's a great charity. I did Movember when I was 13 years old. Me and my mate were confident in the mustaches we had as teens. That we shaved it. We asked people to raise money, and throughout the month of November, we did not grow moustaches, and we raised £22, and it was the most embarrassing moment of my life to date. I'm 25 now. I've still not got the confidence to try Movember just in case it happens again. But I'll hand you back to John Porter now. I've been Jack Kelly. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Amazing stuff, Jack. Well done, mate. Well done.
Usually, I'd walk off stage there, but there's this I don't know. I did a freeze frame, like you did in drama at school.
It's just like Police Squad.
Yeah. I just jump into the air and go.
I love it. No, you did a really good job there, mate. Thank you very much, Jack Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. I am just going to remove him from the stream now before he says something that gets us in trouble. Oh, there we go. He's gone, and it's gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, hi, it's me again. I'm not actually growing this for Movember. This is called depression. Yay! But yeah, nonetheless, here I am to cheer you all up. I'm kidding. Sorry, I'm doing that joke for a friend of mine who probably isn't watching, but you never know your luck. So, I'm a part of what you would know as. My God, I'm getting. Do you know, the more I do these things and the more I talk, the more Mancunian I realise I'm starting to sound. I was actually born in Preston, but I reckon you give it another 4 years, I will actually have gone full-fledged Liam Gallagher. I've already got the weird walking style nailed, so I think I can get everything else right before too long. There's a lot of people posting wash hands in the chat. Did Jack take a piss on the stream and not what? I was paying attention pretty much all of it, apart from when I went to get a drink of water. I don't recall seeing him in needing to wash his hands, but you never know. It's just saying wash hands to me. I have no idea. Anyway, it's I can't believe how many of you have turned out for this, man. There's 33 of you, which is insane. The last time we did a studio night for this, we couldn't get that many people. It's absolutely mental. On a personal note, the comedy nights for BDP have done a tremendous amount for me. I think in the Manchester office. I think a lot of people know me largely because of that. One of the difficult things about being a comedian is, oh, you're a comedian, tell us a joke. Which, yeah. You can probably guess by now that I don't have a ton of jokes, so it's quite hard to keep thinking of new ones. And also, my style is basically just to ramble on, as you're probably seeing right now, as I just watch, as I just watch the counter increment in the top left corner. No, I kid. I tell a lot of anecdotal stuff. I tell stories about my life. I'm not going to tell too many of them tonight because, everyone's life's kind of on hold. It's been it's been a little bit strange the last few months. There are people in the chat that I don't even know, and I don't know if that scares me or that's a really good thing. A quick update on the donations. The last time I looked, I'm just refreshing the page now. Last time I looked, we were at £440, which, given that the initial target was £300, is a pretty incredible effort. I think some big credit needs to go to Anna Graham for that. She's done a fantastic, she's done a fantastic job getting this sorted out. And if I may be so bold, she asked the right person to sort it out. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit about my life and what I do. You know by now who I am. I'm John Porter. I work in Central IT at BDP. I feel like I'm on a Teams meeting now. I don't know what it is about the lockdown. Everyone wants to have a chat. Even things that they could explain in text, they want to have a chat about. And I get it. You're all kind of lonely, but I've been on meetings with the same company 3 or 4 times now, and I've had to introduce myself every single time. I'm thinking of starting to make things up. it's beginning to get to that stage where I'm just like, I need to come up with something a little bit more entertaining. But in much the same way that like I talk about my disability and people make comments about it like after shows, which I've never fully understood why they think it's okay to do that. Um, so I've had a few, but I think one of the main ones is well, I mean, let's start with one of them. Are you really disabled? And it's like, if I'm not, I'm a really good actor, you know. And to be honest, if I was going to fake something about my life, do you not think I'd choose something a little bit more interesting? Like I pretend to be a lion tamer in my spare time or something. I never got that. I still don't get it. One of the best ones I ever had was they asked me what my disability was. I told them it was cerebral palsy. I never used to reference it on stage. Yeah, naively when I started comedy, I thought, well, I can get away without ever really talking about it. It's not that big a deal. But of course, when people see you coming on stage, you need a Sherpa to get up the stairs. Then people tend to start asking questions, you know. So I started mentioning what my disability actually was and things like that. And but before I did that, the guy said to me, "Do you mind if I ask you what your disability is?" And I said, "No, it's cerebral palsy." And his response was, "Oh, that's not so bad." I mean, I didn't check his name, but I think it might have been Dr. Shipman. But nonetheless, it even sort of breeds into some of my friends. So I have a friend in the Manchester office. Well, he's actually on furlough at the moment. He has been for quite a while. A guy you'll probably all know called Patrick Miller. If you're in the Manchester office, you'll know Patrick. Pat's a wonderful guy. Probably one of my best friends in the world. But he does this thing that upsets people. It's called talking. And it turns out that when I first met him, he made quite an impression on me. I think I was the only person in BDP at one point that was willing to defend his slightly outlandish remarks. Although, in fairness, this was about 2 days after he. So he used. And the microphone went again. Yeah, my friend Patrick, he used to live on my street. I live on Princess Street in Manchester, next to where bouncers beat up 18-year-old club goers. And just in case you were wondering, the building, if you want to chuck a brick through my window later or something like that, I mean, you can have a go, but I'm on the 3rd floor, so best of luck. Unless you got Tessa Sanderson with you, I think you might be out of luck. But yeah, Patrick used to live just up the road from me. We became friends as we used to see each other a lot. We're into a lot of the same stuff. We like F1, we like football, we both support Liverpool. Yes, I'm a Liverpool fan in Manchester. It's been fun so far, I'm not going to lie. But nonetheless, one of the first times I met him and he came over, it's kind of, one of the things about my disability, it's kind of obvious. Like, if you see me walking around, you know I'm struggling a little bit, right? So you'll see little bits from me and you'll see you'll see me sort of struggling to get around. And Pat sees this, like me going through the flat. His first question to me was, "So what's the matter with your legs?" Which is one hell of an opening statement. I've actually decided that is now going to be the title of my autobiography. But I told him a little bit about about my disability and that, and I tell him some of the things that people say, and he finds them quite funny. We actually got involved in one. I don't know whether I can tell this or not. I'm gonna screw it. We frequent a little bar close to my flat called Joshua Brooks, largely to watch the Champions League when Liverpool are in it. We'd watch United, but we don't like going out on Thursday nights. Anyway, we go there quite a lot. We went there for the Barcelona game a few years ago, Liverpool-Barcelona. We just got beat 3-0, and even the most optimistic of Liverpool fans wouldn't have predicted that we would have won 4-0 in the second leg, but I digress. We were leaving, and I can't remember why. And again, this is a good example of Pat doing something that upsets people. Pat made a comment about cocaine, like just offhand. He wasn't like advocating taking it or saying he was trying to get some or whatever, but I think it was just a joke he made as we were walking back to my flat, which is just across the road. We're about to cross the road, and this guy's like, "Do you want some cocaine?" I'm like, "No, you're all right." And me being me, I can't respond to like a serious question or like what is perceived to be a serious question with a serious answer. So like I tend to I tend to take the piss a little bit. And I said, no, mate, you're all right. I kicked that addiction years ago. I said, no, I've just got the funny walking. And, and for some reason, Pat found this hilarious. The guy said to me in response, oh, well, good luck with your affliction. I'm still not sure if he meant my drug addiction or my funny walk. I don't have a drug addiction for what it's worth. The only thing I do is drink, which I will be doing copiously once this show has ended. But I tell him a lot of the things about my life, and I can't remember what I told him recently, but he said to me, his response to me was, oh, well, it's good you've accepted your disability. And my response to that was, well, it's not like I could go outside for 20 years and go, what, you mean this isn't how normal people walk? So, yeah, I don't know. You know, like, it's not that big a deal. At the end of the day, my life runs exactly as it should do. There's a good one. And sometimes you say things you don't even mean. But yeah, my life is basically what it's supposed to be. You know, like I've been able to do everything I've ever wanted to do. I've been to San Francisco twice, which I absolutely loved. I've traveled loads. I'm really proud of that, you know. And if I'm honest, most of it wouldn't have happened without doing comedy. You know, comedy has actually opened up a lot of doors for me. I mean, granted, they tend to be the ones on lifts, but nonetheless. So, another thing we do at the Manchester office is... You've probably seen us at lunchtime. We tend to. There's a group of us. It can vary from like 6 of us to about like 21 of us, depending on the day. And it's quite funny to see a firm of architects struggle to put together round tables to make one big table. Clearly, none of you are structural engineers. Maybe we need to get an engineer in the group. But nonetheless, we do this thing. We eat lunch together and stuff. But it became apparent fairly early on that people were saying some really, really bizarre things at lunchtimes. And we decided basically to form a way of sort of recording these things. So we came up with what we call the Lunchtime Weirdo Award. And the person who says the weirdest thing is the Lunchtime Weirdo. What we do is basically we keep a rolling average. So at the end, whenever I decide the end is, because I became the commissioner of this, is apparently the least weird person. Who would have thought a person in IT would be the least weird person? I'm kind of the adjudicator of the whole thing. So I'm just going to share with you a couple. I'm not going to name names. I'm going to protect the innocent or protect the weird, as the case may be. I'm going to share with you some of the better ones that spring immediately to mind. One that pops straight into my head, and I repeat this to almost anybody that ever asks about it, is one from a friend of ours who, when looking out at the canal, just randomly said, oh, I'd love to be a duck, and then followed up with a small quack just to show that she was serious. I don't think she's watching tonight, which is a great shame. I think she would have enjoyed that. Some of the other stuff we've had, I can't say the full sentence here because the person names themselves, but somebody introduced themselves to someone new by saying, hi, I'm insert name here, you'll never see me again, which is quite ominous. The only other thing she could have said is you'll see me every day, which might have actually sounded more ominous. And we have a particular favourite in the Manchester office, a fast rising competitor in the sport of Lunchtime Weirdo, whose two favourite ones for me are, I met a pirate once. The anecdote's not quite as entertaining as the sentence was, and randomly, everyone likes a bit of strangling. I don't know if that's true, but fair play to you. So yeah, I've been at BDP for quite a long time. I've had my trials and tribulations, but I love it. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but just obviously we're not in the office at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. I can understand why. We're obviously into a bit of a lockdown scenario, and we're getting this don't kill. Sorry, Danny's just thumbs up in me off camera. I think he's trying to tell me that his internet's working. We are having some issues with Mr. Sutcliffe. He will be joining us very shortly. Yeah, we've been told we can't go into the office. Apparently, you know, like lockdown I support and I understand. I can't stand these fucking anti-mask idiots. Like, I just don't get it, especially when it's people that you used to idolize, like Morrissey, who's now turned into basically a racist. Ian Brown, who's just like clearly had too much dope, you know. It's just it's frustrating, man. It really is. I mean, to be honest, I don't have a joke about that, but I did it at Jack's gig not long back, and it basically turned into a party political broadcast. Vote for Porter, but I can't really say I'm running for office, so it's going to make life a bit difficult. Maybe you're running because I can't could be the slogan. I don't know. Maybe we could do something like that. So the reason we're not doing anything, of course, is that the government keeps advising me not to kill my grandparents, or rather my granny, I believe is the word. Don't kill granny. Fortunately for me, alcoholism got there first, so I think I'm pretty safe to go in the office, to be honest. So anyway, on that talk now, I'd like to introduce our next comedian, who is currently drinking what's left of his beer. I think I can see him on camera. I don't know how delayed he is compared to me, but we'll bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is, for my money, one of the best comedians in Manchester and possibly the surrounding areas as well. I've gigged with him a hell of a lot. He's an incredibly supportive man and an incredibly funny comedian. And in a month called Movember, I couldn't get a man with more hair to be on this show. So I'm going to bring him in now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Danny Sutcliffe. Just a small note, if we do start having video problems, we'll go to audio only with Danny. Please let us know in the chat if there's any issues. But yes, now I've killed his intro. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Danny Sutcliffe.
Hello. How are you, my friends? Can I just double check? Can someone put in chat that they can see me and there's no issues? Just because I have got Wi-Fi. Jack was like, "Are you on dial-up?" I'm like, "Fuck yourself, Jack." So you know.
You're good for me, mate. I'm dropping out now. Have fun.
No problem. Thanks very much, pal. Hello, everyone. It's really lovely that you're all being part of this. I've been having technical issues. I don't know if anyone else has. I'm starting a fundraiser for John's internet. I've also, fuck Movember. No, it's lovely. Good on you for raising this much money. I love supporting the cause. I'm not growing myself. I've actually shaved one off because I've just got a new puppy and he just kept biting the fuck out of my face. That's the legitimate reason. There's no joke with that. Probably should have started on a stronger note. What's BDP? Invest in Zoom. Fuck Facebook meetings. This is dog shit. The best of it is that Skype had 6 fucking years of it, like just living free before Zoom just rolled in like fucking big guns, didn't they? And just hoovered up all the cash. I love it. And rest in peace, all those online game firms who made a fortune in the first like 6 weeks and then just disappeared like toilet paper in the first week. Just beautiful to see like the flux and the capacitors of the. I know that's not technical speak. I'm not in the fucking stock market. I'm an alcoholic comedian, for fuck's sake. I'm in the side room from the film Saw, and I look like Patrick Swayze's fucking as he does now. And this is what you've got for the next 20 minutes. Enjoy, my friends. I hope you're looking forward to it. I really feel like I'm transmitting from a bunker. And everything's gone wrong. This might be a message from the future, really. You don't know, do you? Thank you for the thumbs up in the chat, by the way, to let me know you're here. And you can see me and everything's running fine. Any problems, do let me know, though, because it's not my internet. I've got fucking 19 hamsters in a shed going guns blazing, so we should be fine. I should talk about this. My name, John. Thank you for the lovely introduction, John. I've had many a good night with John. He's a good lad. It's great that he can work from home with the COVID thing, and we don't have to break his lift apart, his apartment lift again. I hope he finds that funny, and I hope that goes down well with admin. But I should probably introduce myself properly. Hello. My name is Danny Sutcliffe. No relation. Definitely not anymore. I shouldn't joke, really. It was a lovely but very quiet funeral. I've looked into it. You know, we haven't got anything in common. I've never killed a prostitute. I've got a bit more class. I once killed a masseuse. It's just a joke. It's good to start with a joke. It was a masseur, stronger hands, and more of a fight. So I hope you've all been keeping well while we've been during the lockdown and everything. I don't know if we are technically locked down anymore because everyone just seems to have done it the French way now. You know, when they tried to enforce the smoking ban and all the French just went fuck you and smoked anyway. I feel like we've sort of done that and everyone's opened up. I mean, I've been locked down for ages, but my mainstay now, I think what I feed on is watching gyms get shut down by the police every day with a really strong looking hench guy pinning himself to a glass door while a guy just drills at it. there's a community for that now. There's a real industry for that. I think that's where that's where we're going to thrive next. I've got really good at scrolling up on Facebook videos just as it lets me know the ad is about to start. I've got really fucking quick at that. I think I've got like strain. Let me tell you about me. I live in a lovely little retirement village in Manchester called Moss Side. A lot of people get retired round here. I've lived in Moss Side for 5 years. I've been mugged 19 times. But I have done the maths, and it actually still works out cheaper than living in fucking London. So yeah, fuck them. Yeah, but living in Moss Side, when I go out, I do a lot of running, a lot of fucking running. Yeah. There's a couple of things I've learned about me time living in Moss Side and in Manchester in general. In Manchester, facts for you, objects in long sight may seem further away than they appear. And another one is Deansgate locks can only be opened using Salford keys. You can have that one. It's good. Knowledge is power, isn't it? I learned another fact the other day. I did an online gig for Manchester University, and they had an open group chat on Zoom, Invest. And one guy talking to him on the front row of the gig, and he was a scientist, and he told me a brilliant fact now. And he said they've done a study, and they've discovered that people who have a phobia of water fucking stink. Yeah, it's that's the future, everyone, and fucking good at them, I say. I hope no one's gone mad or anything, because one thing, I've got a Canadian girlfriend. I'm not bragging, not for the benefit of a joke. It is true. And so we sort of followed Canada's instructions when it came to the original lockdown. And they were sort of 2 weeks ahead of us. And what was really interesting to watch was a really lovely thing where Justin Trudeau he did a big press conference, and he stood there on the news live, and he was like, I want to speak to the children of Canada. Like, your mummies and daddies are being really brave, but I want to give a personal thank you to you, the children of Canada. And then it's amazing that you cut on the same day to our country, Boris just going, some of yous might die. Good luck with the purge. Like, fucking, it's amazing to watch. He's about as useful as Oscar Pistorius' fucking shoe on. That's the only thing I can summarize with what's been going on recently. I've got no comment on it at all. I am going to try, and if you're happy with it, I'm going to give you a couple of facts that I've been looking into recently, which you might not know about. But I think a good thing for if you're having a bad time, a good thing to do as well. Mental health is a big discussion coming up, which is a really good thing as part of this lockdown. We are learning things and stuff like that, and it is important for everyone to understand. If you're having trouble with anything, you can ring the Samaritans and things like that. Don't worry, I'm not turning this into a fucking Red Nose Day broadcast. But one thing I suffer with two things. I've got a bit of depression and a lot of OCD, and the two aren't really a good mix. So with the depression, what I used to do is if I was having a bad day and I needed to have a chat with someone, I'd ring the Samaritans. But with the OCD, I'd have to ring them 57 times exactly within the space of about 15 minutes. So the Samaritans are busy people. So what happened is the Samaritans introduced call barring eventually to my number after about an hour. And that's bad. I know that's bad, but I still get a bit depressed every now and then. So what I do now, if I'm having a bad day and I need to have a chat with someone, is I'll just ring, those how's my driving numbers on the back of vans. I'll just ring them, and then I'll try and change the subject really quickly. I'll be like, no, he was an impeccable driver. There should be more on the road like him. I've been having really dark thoughts. Yeah, I think I'm going to kill again. Hello? Fucking gone. Oh, but yeah, I did have a nice thing happen to me the other day. I found out some good news. Cheers, everyone. I'm actually going to be, my episode of Dragon's Den is going to air in a couple of weeks, and I'm really excited about it. I can't tell you what happened, but basically, I will tell you what happened. Every single dragon invested all the money in my idea, because what I did, I just walked in dead confident, and I just went, hello, dragons, like that. And then I held up a picture their families tied up in my garage. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, just put the money in the bag. Thanks very fucking much. Cheers. Big fan. Love you, Deborah. Cheers. Where's Duncan Bannatyne? Like, no, I didn't know he'd left the show. I've kidnapped his fucking kids. Like, where do we send the air? Like, Scotland, probably. I don't know. But yeah, a good thing about the new PlayStation 5 came out today, I think, and well done if you got one. I'm really excited for you and everything. I fucking love gaming. One thing I thought about was that the PlayStation 5 in German is called the PlayStation 5. That sounds fucking brilliant, and I had a really good laugh about that. There's no punchline to it. It's just nice. So every time someone says PlayStation 5, tell them a little fact. Say, do you know in German it's called a PlayStation 5? Go fuck yourself. I've got an Xbox lad myself, but I might switch. One thing I really enjoyed as well, there's a level on Call of Duty. Excuse me. When we first started locking down, getting a lot of downtime, playing on a lot of Call of Duty, go online, and there's actually a level where a bomb goes off at Piccadilly Circus in London. And it's amazing. They've recreated it to the amount of detail where my friend came home from doing a show and they were staying at my house, and she looked at the screen that I was playing on the Piccadilly Circus level, and she said, if you go down that street, you can go to my house, go down that street. We couldn't, of course, because it's a game and it's not that realistic, but isn't that fucking great? And at one point, I'd not been out for that long. I got this Piccadilly Circus level on Call of Duty, and rather than go around killing everyone, I just had a fucking nice walk around the shops, you know, because it was really quiet. Really good. I had a really good time. I knew I had stopped playing online games when I was in my early 20s, late 20s, all right, early 30s, just before I moved out. And I was staying at my mum and dad's for the third time after a broke up relationship, because I'm a rock star. And it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm playing online on Call of Duty, and I'm in my dressing gown, covered in quaver dust, and that's definitely toothpaste on me. Yeah. And what happened? It's late, and I'm holding my head. I'm having a bad time. Okay, so I'm holding my headset away from me head, so that the 14-year-old American boy who I'm playing against can hear me clearly shouting at him. And I'm going, no, I said flash grenade, then run in, dickhead, not fucking frag grenade, you nuclear fucking asshole, right? And at this point, my mother, God love this woman, walks into my bedroom of her 37-year-old son, and she looks at me, and that's definitely toothpaste, ma'am. And she looks me right in the eye of her firstborn son, and she says, stop shouting. And we had a moment of silence, and then a voice in my Xbox headset just went, is that your mom? I'm like, oh, fuck off. Yeah, so I quit playing online games for a little bit, but I'm back into it now in a good way, and I hope you're enjoying it as well if you've got one. You'll have to excuse me for keep looking down, but I'm a bit rusty because I've not been doing stand-up for a while. What I have been doing is trying to work on stuff which I'd like to talk to you about in terms of what's happened and everything. Do you remember the celebrities doing Imagine when we all first went into lockdown? That was what we really needed, wasn't it? No, what we really needed was a video of all the celebrities who told the organizer of that video to fuck off. Just like Al Pacino going, Gal Gadot! I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. It's not like the fucking... I don't know. I was that bored the other week because the world's obsessed with money now, as well as it always has been, but more than ever. I compiled a list of stand-up billionaires that I think I could take in a fight. So I had one, Bill Gates. I reckon I'd throw him over the house like a fucking shoe. Piece of piss. Zuckerberg, fist fight on a mountaintop, right? He would be beating me and he'd have me on the edge, but eventually I'd get the upper hand, right? The list of billionaires that I couldn't take in a fight. Elon Musk, even though he's got COVID now, he's just sneaky. I reckon he'd have like a fucking switchblade sellotape to his leg or something, or even a laser. I reckon he's got something like that now. Dan Bilzerian. I don't know if you follow him. He's famous on Instagram. That's something to be proud of, isn't it? He was at I don't know if you met this guy, but he's a big fucker. And he looks like an ender level baddie. So I wouldn't be able to fuck him up. He's a beast. But I don't know if you remember the Las Vegas shooting when that guy went mad out the hotel room window. There's a clip online of Dan Bilzerian. He was at that concert And he got famous because he's leaning against this wall, hunched, and his gunfire going off. And there's a cop over there, and this cop's returning fire. And Dan Bilzerian, just imagine just a billionaire, a big beardy muscle guy going, "Throw me a gun, I can help." And the cop's like, "Go fuck yourself. I don't know who you are. I'm Dan Bilzerian. Look me up on Instagram right now." Oh, it's I think after this, as a reward as well, we're right. What we should do as a nation, we should all get to meet the Queen, and like not like a one out of every family or every street or everything. We all get to meet the fucking Queen, starting when this ends, right? And it's a ticket tape service, like at old butchers. And what happens? But the one condition, let's have a secret between us and everything, because we all just get to go, "Your Majesty." There'll be queues for years, and I don't know how we're going to work it out, but this is what's happening. So look forward to it, right? But when we get there, just have a little secret. You get to ask her one question. Ask her what happened in the Matrix, and she's got to fucking tell you as well. It'll just be really funny, and it'll fuck with them for ages. What else have I got to talk to you about? There's a couple of sayings I've been working on as well, which have been keeping me going during the lockdown in this bunker. Katy Perry had it right, you know. She's a fucking what's it? Not Confucius. What was he called? Not the Nautilus. That's a ship. The one that predicted everything. What's he called? Casanova. John's saying close. The one that predicted everything. Oh, fuck me. I keep wanting to say Confucius.
I think Nostradamus, Danny.
Nostradamus. Oh, you know what I wanted to say? Predilectus. What the fuck is that? Sounds rude, doesn't it? Yeah. So she's a Nostradamus. You know what? I've ruined the fucking joke now. Katy Perry has it right, everyone. She's a right Nostradamus. Baby, you're a firework. So don't approach me when I go out. I started a jigsaw the other day that said 5 to 6 years, which is ideal for me because I'm in prison for GBH. I was gonna run away and join the Foreign Legion, and then I found out about a place called the British Legion. And they do cheap carling, and they've got a free pool on a Sundays. So I used to go there when that joke was topical. Not even topical when we could go out. But no, stay safe, guys. Oh fucking hell! I'm probably not gonna wrap up. I've got loads of notes. So if you're happy for me to keep going, I'm just gonna fucking keep going because this is free therapy. Stay safe, guys. If you do have to watch a Gary Barlow duet, just please do be careful. I didn't watch the Robbie Williams one. I know a lot of people have got a lot of love for Robbie, and I do respect the man, but he always just strikes me as, you know, if you're at a party and he's just the one that farts in all your teacups, Robbie Williams. That's what he strikes me as. He's like the Chris Moyles of music. You know what I mean? I just love that Gary Barlow. I hope he's slowly going mad on his own. In his mansion, he's running out of celebrities. And it comes to like week fucking 913, and he's kidnapped his window cleaner, just doing fucking could it be magic, laughing and crying at the same time. I fucking love shit like that. Yeah, I'm fucking done with all that shit. What else can I talk to you about? This has been good for me for detoxing and shit like that. It's about time to start detoxing. I love John's bit about the Joe Wicks thing. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Joe. Fucking, you know, the super fits. They're just, you know what? If you're a super fit, good on you, but just that guy, because he's not on this stream and he's anonymous and he doesn't know who I am. So fuck him. But yeah, it is good to detox, guys. I've been doing it. I've started small with it. I've just started walking more to me drug dealers. I've actually had to start doing a bit of running recently, about 3 years ago. I got pneumonia, and through smoking and everything. I fucking love smoking. I was a professional at it, but I was that good. The reward you get for it is pneumonia, so it's not advised. 3 days in hospital, I had to quit the cigarettes, miss it. Doctor's advice. I say doctor's advice. He just went, get out, run, you fat bastard, fucking run, set a fire alarm off, took his coat off and ran. I don't think he's a real doctor, to be honest with you, but he made a cracking ice cream. And yeah, so I've had to start doing a bit of running. I'll be honest with you, I don't fucking enjoy running, but it's a necessary evil. I've got to do it to get fit and healthy again. So what I do when I'm running, I'll try and like G myself up into it, play a little mind trick on myself, pretend I'm being chased. But I fucking hate being chased as well. So what I do is I'll go running and then I'll pretend I'm being chased. And then what I'll do is I'll hide for about an hour behind a tree or usually in a Greg's or a McDonald's. I've put on 3 fucking stone since I started running. It's been a nightmare, to be honest with you. But no, it's good to have jokes. I will get some one day. I promise. Not tonight. So I like stories. This is a story all about how my life got turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became addicted to internet pornography. Everyone, it's a tragic tale. Pornography is everywhere these days, isn't it? I mean, if you look now in 2020, pornography really is all over my house. I read an interview with the UK's most successful porn producer, a bloke called Bendover. He's real. Don't Google him, but he is real. And in this interview, he said he's got this newfound fame now with the rise of the internet and everything. And he said he's got lads coming up to him going, get us on, mate. How'd you be a porn star? And he's like, right, lads, in this interview, I'm going to underline it. If you think you've got what it takes to fuck on camera for a living, this is the test, okay? Get your mates round, right? Fucking go for it in front of them, wank in front of them. And, if you can keep it up and finish, then potentially you've got what it takes to be a porn star, pal. Now, believe it or not, the hardest part isn't keeping it up and finishing in front of your friends. The hardest part is getting your friends to stay in the fucking room. Chasing them around the house going, look me in the eye, Gary, look me in the fucking eye. I'll tell you this just before I go. You've been a treat. Thanks for sticking with it if you're still here. I don't know if it's just going to be an empty broadcast when we cut back to John and just a gun going off. Fucking hell. But I hope you're all looking forward to Christmas. It's all we've got to look fucking forward to at the minute, innit? You know what? I'm not going to go into it. But I like to think you all know what I was about to start talking about. And yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to Christmas. I had a really shit Christmas a couple of years ago. I just moved into a new house with my now ex-bitch girlfriend. And it was the day before Christmas Eve, 5 o'clock in the morning. 3 wise men kicked our front door off its fucking hinges. Obviously, we've barricaded ourselves into the bedroom. I've rang 999, 999, what's your emergency? I've been having really dark thoughts. No, we've been robbed. So police are on the way. My girlfriend starts, going, what are you going to do in this situation? And all I could remember was an SAS survival book I'd read by Andy McNabb. And this quote, he says, right, Danny, in this situation, it's fight or flight, which means you can stay and fight or you can run home. And I couldn't run home because I was already at fucking home. So we've got to stay and fight them. Okay. So Andy says there's 3 things to do in this situation, Danny. Number 1, make yourself as big a presence as you can, like an animal. Number 2, scream as loud as you can at them. And number 3, advance towards the burglars, right? If you combine the 3, they're not expecting that down there. Okay. They're expecting some little soft ass, get out from the top of the stairs. They're not expecting some stark, bollock naked, raving lunatic to come charging full speed, like laughing. Welcome. And you know what, my friends? It fucking works, right? Because I sent my girlfriend down them stairs screaming and fucking shouting. No, I couldn't do that. I went down going, hiya, lads, look me in the eye, look me in the fucking eye. I'm going to hand you back to John. Thanks very much for having me. Feel free to follow me on Twitter and shit. You've been a treat. Cheers, pals.
Danny, mate, that was incredible. I can't believe I was worried about filling time when I booked you.
It wasn't a joke about therapy.
No, that was amazing, mate. Thank you very much.
It was a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
my friend. Thanks a lot, pal.
No worries. So it was fun being able to work at BDP till I booked Danny for this. No, that was the amazing Danny Sutcliffe. As he said, if you did like him, follow him on Twitter. I think he's actually at Danny Sutcliffe's, which suggests there's more than one of him, which is an extremely terrifying thought. I'm going to be honest, guys. I was worried about filling an hour, and we've gone past it. I don't know. I mean, like a bit like Danny. I have no place else to be. I live here. I have no one else in my life at all. I don't have a girlfriend. I did used to like someone. It turns out that it didn't really work out. She used to do a job where she stored things in. Well, basically, she was an archivist, so that meant that she stored things up to have a go at me for later. Ultimately, it just wasn't worth the hassle. That's just a joke for like 5 people, but you know what? It's my stream. I don't care. I've had an interesting time since I came to BDP. I've met a lot of incredible friends, and it's opened me up to like new experiences, new parts of life and stuff. And it's interesting, really. Like, there's people I've met that have struggled with things that I've never struggled with. Like, I don't think. And there's the mic again. Yeah, I don't think many people have met someone with a disability like me, but also I don't necessarily think that I've met some people that have had certain things in their lives. So like some of my friends, for instance, they have like, they're vegans or whatever. I have no problem with anyone being vegan. I'm not one of those comedians who will joke like, oh, do you know if someone's a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Like, yeah, okay, fair enough, whatever. It's not funny, but by all means, you do you. My alternative to that is, how do you know if a comedian's going to tell a shit joke about vegans? And it's usually, don't worry, they'll fucking tell you it. But yeah, nonetheless, I have some friends that are vegan. I'm fine with that. I have some friends that are celiac, which means they're intolerant to gluten, and I have some friends that are celiac, which means they break my heart and shake my confidence daily. No, you fuck off. I love that joke. It's my favorite thing I've ever written. Chat has lit up, and I honestly don't know what I've said that's caused it. If someone could, unless it was something Daddy said, if someone could tip me off, that would be great. I talked a little bit earlier about having been to San Francisco. I should probably know better than to travel on my own. I'm a little bit of a loose cannon, which is not a good thing to be when you go to America. The last time I went over to San Francisco, it was there's 2 things that happened, right? So first of all, I went over on September the 9th, give or take a couple of days. And I went to a baseball game, and that in itself is not funny, but I'd been walking around San Francisco for probably a couple of days at that point. My legs were shot, right? I'm not built to walk. I'm not really built to do anything, right? But my 2 favorite cities in the world are Edinburgh and San Francisco, so I guess I must also be into sadomasochism, but I digress. I'd done like 2-3 days walking in San Francisco, and it was painful. It was really. So I go to the baseball game, and obviously it's the national anthem. Please stand for our national anthem. And I thought, oh fuck that, I'm not doing that. I can barely stand up as it is. I did well to get to the stadium. You know what I mean? But around that time, it was the beginning of the controversy about Colin Kaepernick and his kneeling for the anthem, and now YouTube's trying to censor me so I don't tell this story. It was around about the time that Colin Kaepernick had his like kneeling thing, and he was protesting the anthem and stuff. So there's a bit of a heightened sense of like, you had better stand, you respect our goddamn anthem, but I was still not doing it. I did it with about 5 seconds to spare, and let me tell you why. I suddenly became aware that everybody in my section was looking at me as everyone stood up. And it only occurred to me why when I looked at the scoreboard and I saw September the 11th, 2017. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what, lads, I'm fine. Yeah, I can stand for a couple of minutes. No problem. I didn't. I absolutely love San Francisco. It's my favorite place in the world. But my follow up to that was a couple of days later. It was during the apparently the hottest heat wave, as though you can have a cold heat wave. I don't know why I said that, but it was during one of the hottest times in San Francisco history. And I was walking through San Francisco. I was walking down a street called the Embarcadero, which is about as long to walk as it is to say. So it's a very long street. And I'm walking along, and I'm British, right? They've spotted this as soon as I've opened my mouth. Somebody said I sounded like John Lennon. I was like, John Lennon's a Scouser. Like, no, you've got that same lazy style of speaking. Like, okay, fair enough. So whatever. But yeah, so anyway, I was walking down the street and I'm burning because it's hot. I'm absolutely burning. So a guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, how you doing, man?" I've got my t-shirt on, short sleeve t-shirt, shorts on. And I was like, "Yeah, sun's out, guns out." And then I was like, "Oh, fuck." If I'd said it in Texas, I probably wouldn't be doing this stream to you right now. You know what, guys? There's so much more I could say, but to be honest, we did our time, and I think we did well. And I'm a firm believer that you should leave things when they're going well. Thank you to everyone that's been here. It's been, to be honest, it's been like roughly a million times better than I thought it would be. You never really know what to expect when you do a live comedy stream. There's no audience. Although for me, it's quite similar. I'm met with stony silence regardless. But I'll think of you the next time I'm in fucking Mansfield at 10:30 on a wet Saturday night in October. And I'll remember that this gig was good fun. And I'll remember that I had a good time. I'll tell you one of my bad jokes to end with. I've written it recently. I was talking about Morrissey earlier. I don't know if I have a feeling Tracy probably is into the Smiths. I think there's probably a few other people that are. So here's a joke for all the Smiths fans out there. What does Morrissey say when he overboils an egg? That yolk isn't runny anymore. Sorry, I had to. I will be deleting that from my list. But yeah, anyway, it's been a great pleasure to be here. We are... When I last checked, we were 60 quid away from 500 quid, which is frankly insane. Oh, no, we are 40 quid away. Sorry. I am not good at maths, which is why I am not an engineer. We are 40 quid away from 500 quid. If you can get us over the top, please do. I think it would mean a lot to Anna and a few other people, including me. I want to give a big shout out again to Anna. Christ, she'll be thinking I'm trying to hit on her at this rate. But yeah, no, she's done an incredible job to make this work. And thanks to Danny and Jack, who are frankly incredible. I don't think I could have got through this week without knowing they were going to do it. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. And you were both incredible. Yeah, I've been John Porter. If you did like me, follow me on Twitter, although don't, because I might lose my job. No, follow me on Twitter at jportercomedy. I will put it in the chat now. All views expressed are my own and not necessarily those of BDP, although they probably should be. Follow me on Instagram, same at jportercomedy. Like me on Facebook, John Porter Comedy. You can probably tell I'm desperate for human interaction, so send me anything. Send me abuse if you want. At the end of the day, I work in IT. It'll just be another Monday. Love you guys. Take care.